Yo, this is KD,
And this is David.
and we are the K&D Exchange, where we exchange music, and as a result, we exchange ideas, bridging the gap between old and new, with all original music produced by. Enjoy. What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to the K&D Exchange. We are on exchange number 21. I am your host, KD, joined by my co-host, David. David, what's new on your side of the screen?
Man, not a lot. Just
Not
out
a
here,
lot.
man. Just out
Yeah.
here. How about yourself?
Not much, man. All good. I have to make a quick disclaimer. I feel like I've been fucking up for the last 2 episodes because every time I listen back, I'm not sure why I'm hoping that it hasn't happened again, but it always feels like my audio quality hasn't been great for the last 2 episodes. And I'm going to blame Zoom because I'm pretty sure it told me that it was linked to my microphone. I think actually it's been recording through my laptop the whole time. So it's picking up room noise and all that sort of stuff. And I haven't been recording in the studio. So it's just been in the living room or kitchen sometimes. But actually, no, I think there was one time I did record in the studio and I even thought, okay, there's something weird about this quality. But yeah, so I think I fixed that now. Hopefully, if I listen back, it'll be all right. But that aside, to all our returning listeners, thank you very much for tuning in and supporting us. To new listeners, our format is basically me and David swap albums to each other, hence the exchange in the title. So 1 week, David will give me an album that he's familiar with, but which I haven't listened to. And then we both come in from those 2 unique perspectives. And then the following week, I'll give him something I'm familiar with and that he's hearing for the first time. And we go in and discuss that. So this is exchange number 21, like I said. And I gave David an album to listen to this week. David, what did I give you to listen to?
You gave me Pop Smoke's Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon, released in July 2020, I believe.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, you got it the wrong way around.
Was it? Shoot for
Aim for the moon, shoot for the stars.
Oh. You sure? Shoot.
I mean, I could have got it wrong, but that's what I wrote down.
Are you sure? It says
Either way.
Well, this is on Deezer, bro. Shoot for the stars, aim for the moon. Mate, I knew bullshit? I didn't have it right. I didn't have it wrong now. Come on now.
No, this is bullshit, man. This is the album I'm meant to be. Shoot for the stars, aim for the moon. Wow, why the fuck did I write? Okay.
Suspect KD info.
Okay. All right. Let's move past this quickly and swiftly.
Quickly and swiftly.
I've already exposed my fuck up with my microphone, so let's not keep doing this.
In all fairness though, bro, like I had 2 weeks of sketchy, like I was trying out my mic and it just wasn't really working. It was horrible. So I'm back to headset.
I reckon it was Zoom, to be fair.
Yeah, I actually think it was going through my laptop. I think, but we'll see anyway. Like I'll sort that out because like when I record like separate audio, it's like absolutely fine. Like it's in the mic and there's no background noise. So mate, who knows, man? Anyway, that's off air talk. Yeah. So this album, what did I think of it? Well.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the album. It was. I wish I didn't know that it was a posthumous album. I think because of the conversation that we had last week and because I was so sort of scarred by DMX, like, I know I had quite a visceral reaction to it and like I still stand by it. I think that album is disgusting. I really do. But this album, however, this is my window into Pop Smoke. I mean, let me tell you a story, right? So when I knew that I was becoming sort of like disillusioned with like football, It was in this culmination of this one event that I was meant to really care about. And like, so
Right.
for, new listeners, I am an Arsenal fan. And like old listeners will know this, but I'm an Arsenal fan, right? And I've become so sort of like disillusioned with the club that I support since childhood and stuff. I've become so disillusioned that I remember I can't remember if it was like January 2020, I think it was, or January or February 2020. It was a match against Olympiacos, and we're in the Europa League, and basically it's our last chance for a nice title at that point. And one of our last chances because we won the FA Cup. But anyway, I watched this game, and it went on for 90 minutes, and it was a draw after 90 minutes, and it went on for another half an hour, and we ended up losing that game. And one of our strikers should have scored, and like I was sitting there and I was watching it, and as soon as we'd lost and the final whistle went, all I said was, "Well, I better go to bed then." And I went to bed. Right. I was emotionally unaffected. This album is exactly the same. It did not move the dial for me in the slightest.
Interesting.
I didn't hate it. I didn't like it. I just listened to it, and oh boy, like I know there's a deluxe version of this with 34 songs. Absolutely no way would I listen to that. No way. Getting through the 19 or whatever.
It's unnecessary.
Was hard enough.
Unnecessary.
It was hard enough, bro. I was sitting here, and I, you know what? I'll even get to it later. Where is it? Yeah, by the end of song 6, and I've listened to this album twice all the way through, and then, I had to break it up basically twice because I was like, I am getting bored of this. I don't get it. I don't get this album. However, I can totally see. So, is Pop Smoke like a pioneer of drill?
I don't know if he's a pioneer.
So, because we listen to like Lowski, for example, and then you've got guys like Skepta and UK guys using this kind of drill sound and stuff, and it's very dark and very, very atmospheric, and it's moody as well. And Pop Smoke's got this low, gruff sort of delivery.
Yeah, he's got a sick voice, in my opinion.
I think he's got a very good voice, and he, to be honest, at times he could sound like a Brit. Like I can totally.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Like I can totally hear it.
I thought he was British. I don't know if I said it at the end of the last episode because he was on a song with Skepta. So I thought,
okay.
I thought this guy was from the UK. Didn't realize he was from Brooklyn.
Yeah, New York. But yeah, man, like this album, it's not something that hit me particularly well. There are elements of it that I think are okay. They're okay.
Fair enough.
3 Migos flipping cameos though. Quavo, right?
That's true. Yeah, I think it was Quavo each time, right?
Yep. Why the fuck are you in my ears, mate? I cannot stand him. Anyway,
you don't like him?
No, man.
Oh, I like Quavo.
When my son was younger, he used to have this like really weird voice for stuff. Whenever he didn't like something, he'd be like, "I don't like it." So like every time Quavo he's like, "I don't like it," he turned into some Mexican flipping drug peddling hombre. Like
that's hilarious.
I don't like it, Quavo. But yeah, man, like, dude, let's get into it, man, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot to talk about. So another thing as well, like I always make notes, especially on the first time of listening. I try and make notes, but definitely on my second time because I'll have more to say, right? But my first impression is rarely wrong. However, I found it really difficult to make notes on this album, especially by song number 6, because I was like, I don't care. I know, right?
Yeah.
But that's why you listen again. So here we go. Sorry, bro, to like run into this. Right, okay. Bad Bitch from Tokyo.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
I was like,
Bad Bitch from Tokyo.
Yeah, like I like the gruff voice, I guess, but I don't really care, mate. Like I'm not sure I like it at the moment. As an opener to an album, I'm like, However, He says took it to trial and beat the case about like a murder charge. One of his mates.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure on his story,
Yeah.
on what it involves, but he part of the streets, like things that led to his death, I think.
Sad. That's
Yeah.
sad. And that was like an interesting. I was like, oh, okay, what happened there? Because if you're getting away with murder, then
Yeah.
um, all
Snoop
right.
Snoop Dogg beat a murder charge as well, didn't he? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he went on
Was that
trial for
ages ago?
that was yeah, that's like
It was so
doggy style
long
times.
ago. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
1992 times, yeah. It's kind of crazy. People forget about that. And then you
Yeah, I
think,
completely
oh
forgot.
shit, that's kind of deep, you know?
I
Like
know.
what if you did just beat it on a, I don't know the details, but what if you did just beat it on a technicality or something? Have you actually killed someone? I,
In all fairness, like I always ask myself like a question, like, what if the
mm,
electricity went like tomorrow and
right.
it starts getting tribal out here, and someone's gonna like come to your family and be like, give me all your food, or else I'll, kill your son or something like that, right?
Got to kill him first.
I mean, I wouldn't hesitate. I don't think I'd hesitate. To be
Especially
fair.
if they're threatening your son
Oh yeah,
or your family in general.
yeah,
It's
they
not
got to go,
happening.
right? But
Yeah.
then, like when it
I mean,
comes to
can you reason with them? Do you even think about doing that in the moment?
not in a sec, to be honest, you only got one chance to surprise somebody. Um, but
Yeah.
I guess if people are desperate, like you might be able to say like, well, okay, cool, let's compromise. You're obviously desperate. Fine,
Sure.
let my son go, then we can talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anything happens to him,
That's it.
you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
It's on
Like,
site.
oh,
Yeah.
oh,
100%.
oh dearie me. I don't know if you've seen Watchmen, but like Doctor Manhattan, what he does to people, that's what would happen. Like,
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it.
oh, what? Do you know what?
No,
It's
I haven't
not
heard.
fat. It's not fantastic, but I actually really like it. But not a lot of people do.
Yeah, I hear like divided opinions on it quite
Yeah, I thought
often.
it was wicked,
Okay.
um, but yeah, man, yeah, killing people. I mean, it's that street life, that real
Yeah.
desperate stuff. Like, I don't know. I can't. It's one thing for me to sit like we're basically sitting in like ivory towers in comparison.
In
Like,
comparison, yeah.
how can we know
You're
what
right.
the ins
You
and
are
outs
right.
are?
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, man. All right. So, track number 2, Aim for the Moon. The bass. Give me that bass.
Okay. Yeah.
In a me face. Um, you got that nice triplicate delivery. I mean, like, it's okay. I really like the sort of chorusy, bridgy bit. Like, happens for 2 bars. Really, really quite nice. It's got like decent atmosphere in it. And also, I didn't think that Pop Smoke was a singer, but I actually really liked the way he sort of sang, like
Yeah,
"Aim
he
for the
he does
Moon."
some melodic stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I genuinely really, really enjoyed it.
Mm.
Drake, take note,
Is
because
this the one where he says like yeah quite a few times?
I think he says "yeah" a lot in the first like 4 songs.
Yeah, I always wonder, and knowing that this is a posthumous album, I always wonder if it was them like trying to have to fill out the gaps.
I think so. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of these songs didn't need to be 4 minutes. You could have had a lot
Mm.
of what's sort of already bugging me at this point is like the songs are too long for what they are. They're too
Sure. They're a
like the
bit padded
music
out with some of the features and stuff, right?
correct. And we'll get to
Yeah.
one later on. I think
Mm.
we'll get to one later on where I don't even know Pop Smoke, okay? So this is my first album listening to him. And
Yeah.
I was actually hopping mad. If I was a Pop Smoke fan, I'd be fuming, okay, with what happens later on in the album.
Right.
It's not a big thing to some people, but like for me, I was just like, no,
Sure.
it's a posthumous album. You put him front and center. Don't you
Yeah, I
da-
got you.
don't
Got
you
you.
dare relegate him. And they do that a couple of times, and I think
Mm.
it's disgusting. But
Yeah.
anyway, um, da, 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 da. For the Night, track 3. Don't really like it.
Yeah, with the two babies.
Yeah. Do you know what it is? Like, my mate, one of my greatest friends, and like we don't
Mm,
even talk that much, but every time we do, it's like family sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
sure. Yeah.
he used to make beats back when we were like 16, 17, 18.
Okay.
These were the kind of beats that he would make.
Okay.
His are way better. Like, his are way better. This is by the numbers. Where's the
Mm,
experimentation? Where's the
yeah.
kind of where's the life? Where's the Viva,
Mm,
man? Like, give me something. I mean,
yeah.
this doesn't float me. And Little Baby and Da Baby, like their features and that, they're all right.
Yeah.
They're not as long as Pop Smoke, which is great. I think that's a great
Mm,
little homage. Like they kind of
yeah.
and I really got the impression that they were drafted in after the fact. Like I really got that
Right.
impression. It
Okay.
didn't seem like it was something in the pipeline before his death.
Sure.
Do you know
Got
what I
you.
mean?
Yeah. It does feel like they kind of like, oh, maybe we could get Lil Baby on this. Okay. Maybe a third verse. Let's get the baby. That kind of thing. You know, I do.
Yeah.
I like both of them. I like not necessarily on this song. There's this song and two other songs which I always get mixed up because there's like three or four songs on here which are like TikTok famous. So people use them in their dances or for their memes and stuff. And I feel like this is one of those songs that has been used. I'm pretty sure. But in my head right now, I can't remember if I think it is the one I'm thinking of right now. Is this one? And now it's switched to one of the other ones. So I was just about to quote a bit from it. Oh no, this is that. What do you want? We're going for the night. Oh yeah, it is that one because he says it. Yeah. But for me, it's like it's cool, it's nice, but it's very. It's just it's like okay, and then I like the baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then even his verse wasn't like grabbing me that much. Lil Baby's got better over time with his features. But on this one, it was like, okay, cool. I didn't care for the song, especially if it's like Pop Smoke featuring Lil Baby and DaBaby. That's kind of something in the current landscape that I would think, oh, okay, that makes for something. Okay, that sounds really interesting, for like a banger. Just kind of came and went, you know.
Yeah.
I get completely what you mean. The beat sounds very generic.
Oh, it's not even generic. It's
It's
piss
just
poor. It's so
is,
poor.
yeah,
It's,
yeah.
the more I think about it, the more I'm like, actually, you've got whoever like had the anyway. No. You know what, Dave? It's all right. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy that's just like bitching and stuff. Like I don't want to be that guy because like I know that music is to be celebrated.
Right.
However, when music
However,
don't jar with you, it don't jar,
it
boy.
is what it
So
is, man. Yeah, for sure.
anyway,
All right. What's next?
40
44 Bulldog.
atmospheric, but I did not give a single fuck.
Oh, I was going to say, come on, David, come through with this one at least.
In a field full of fucks, I could not have given one. Dude,
This is an absolute banger, David.
hey man, hey.
Uh,
Nah, it's
I ain't
not.
with the talk of the chit chat. Come on with your baby gum, click clack. Go when I get with the riff raps. Oh,
There
it's
you
just
go.
fucking
That
bangs.
was. Do you know what? I've got the lyrics for this song up.
Yeah, I can't remember the actual lyrics, but the flow was sick.
Oh my goodness! Like, I'm clicking for it now. Aim for the moon for the night. 44 Bulldog. Yeah,
Yeah,
he says. Oh my days. Oh, there's so much there.
this is classic Pop Smoke as well.
Yeah, it's like fast. It's like flowy. But again, man, I was just like, I don't care though.
Fair enough. This
Um,
this one this is the one that caught me in the first listen when I was like, okay, I'm gonna pull this song out of this project.
I'm just scrolling for that line. That's exactly the lines that I was thinking of. I was like, oh, hang on a minute, I'm paying attention to him because he's got like this really sort of raw, fast flow that I'm like, right, okay, cool. I can sort of jive with it. Like I can get with it, man. But
Sure.
yeah, yeah, I don't know. Like maybe I was in a bad mood on the
Fair enough.
few occasions that I've listened to this.
Fair
Um,
enough.
on. But just give me a sec. Let me turn on the lats. Yeah. Number 5, Gangsters. I mean, it's better. It's got piano music, you know. It's
Sounds like some classic 50 Cent.
Right. I was going to say, it sounds like G Unit.
Yeah, so something like Dr. Dre would have made for them with those pianos.
Yeah, it's a real throwback. And then you can hear the in the background. Also, it's like, is Griselda in the building? Anyway, I wish they were. Everybody,
I reckon the Griselda collab could have actually worked weirdly. Maybe on a beat similar to this, maybe a bit grimier though.
It'd have to be
potentially.
Yeah, it'd have to be
with Pop Smoke's voice. Yeah, he that would have laced nicely, like with them, and then them three, like West Side Gun maybe on the hook or something. Just that would have that would have been good, man.
I think Pop Smoke and I think Pop Smoke and Benny would dovetail quite well, just tonally.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like one after the other, and then you have to leave Conway on his own because
he would just destroy it.
Oh man, I'm so glad I was right. I think I'm right, and I'm glad that I was back when we did the Griselda. That Conway's the dude.
He is that dude, man.
He's so sick. Anyway, we can pine for better times. Let's get through this shit. Track number 6. Yeah. I really like the intro. The notes of the bass, again, really, really caught me. This is the first time, 6 songs, where something in the music caught my eye or ear. Okay. I was sort of like putting on my, my old sort of musician hat. And if this song was played live, I think it'd sound amazing.
Right. Do you mean like played with live instruments or just played live?
Played with live instruments, pardon me.
Okay.
I think this would be really, really cool. It's a little bit more dynamic, just in like the way that the musical notes like move. Like it's a little bit. There's a little bit of something, and I'm like, right, okay, cool. Now I'm, it's not just so sort of one note in the darkness, like with that sort of like phasing that bass where it just goes do 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 do, and it's just like root notes, and then you've got the little fills of that. It's better. It's better. But at this point, man, I'm clock watching. I mean, I was like, this isn't grabbing me at all, man. Like, at all.
Fair enough.
Track number 7, Creature. And it's got Sway Lee on it.
The Hook King.
The Hook King, indeed. I mean, it's okay. But again, it's samey. But if you the thing is, if you enjoy this type of music, like, I think it would be a solid body of work. I actually think that, like, as an album, it's crafted quite well.
It's balanced enough.
Yeah, definitely.
But there are songs on here I do not like 19 or 18. I don't count the last song because it's bonus, and it was on a previous mixtape. But the out of the 18, it could have been cut down 100%.
Could have been cut down to 13, I reckon.
Because I do like this kind of music, but some of these songs, 13, 12, and kept the harder stuff, I think, Because
I don't want to we'll get into it when we get there, bro.
For sure. Because the next song, I love Creature, by the way, but this next song.
Snitching. Right. I mean, it's just so basic. Like, I don't...
Throw it in the trash.
I don't care. However, the riff, there is something in that riff where I've heard it before, and it is driving me insane. Like, I know it.
I feel like that's some old G Unit type thing that they could have jumped on. But I'm like you. I can't figure out what it's reminding me of.
Yeah, it's something from the early 2000s. This is another weird thing about this album, like the throwbacks to 20 odd years ago, like hip hop and stuff. And I'm like, it was cheesy and corny then. What the hell is it doing on an album now? Like,
I think it's 50 executive. I did say this last time, right?
Yes,
50
you did.
Executive produced it. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's where that influence came from. because I heard someone say on Dead End Hip Hop, shout to them, FIFO, saying that this could be an album that 50 Cent jumped on back in the day over these beats, or maybe now, and people be like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and again, 50's not really one of the artists. I mean, I love his music, but I mean, he's not really one of the artists you post up when you want to talk about evolution or growth. It's kind of the same thing, you know? So yeah, I can understand that on here. That may be where the influences come from. I wonder if that's where it's coming from.
I'm not a betting man, but I would bet that you're correct, to be honest, because there are so many things, like little nods here and there, where I'm like, we've done this dance before. Like, I know where this is going.
Yeah, we've been here before. Yeah,
we've done this before. Where's the new stuff? And like, I do understand that the drill influences or the drill focus of the album is like not going anywhere. But then it's got these weird sort of meandering songs where you're like, I can imagine like Ray J on this, or someone corny like that, right? Because like later on,
Ray J.
Oh my gosh! Like, I've never wanted to punch somebody so hard. What was that song? One wish. Oh my god! Just the way that he begins that. As a matter of fact, I was the one who said I loved you first. Just the way that he sings that every time, I was like, nope, not listening to this song anymore. It was horrible.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that song was a part of my childhood, so there's this added nostalgia to it, which I just can't get rid of. But yeah, I just remember him outside the house in the rain.
Yeah, in the rain.
In that high-pitched voice. And now he's on Love and Hip Hop or some shit like that, where they all end up going. But
I mean, I can see why he was... Like, he wasn't terrible, but that song really... I was just like, nah, man, you need to stop crying. Top
yeah,
cry,
he had that
man.
whiny voice. Yeah,
top cry. He's like Lloyd.
He's Brandy's brother, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's Brandy's brother. Yeah. They did that Phil Collins cover.
In the
Just Another Day.
Oh
no, For You and Me in Paradise. I can't remember what that song's called.
Oh, okay. I've not heard, or I cannot recall another Ray J song outside of One Wish.
Oh, that's the only one that I can remember.
Okay,
the only other one, because I was like, oh yeah, he's not that bad. I was 16.
Exactly. Right. I was younger than that, man. I was probably 6.
Yeah,
if that's when it came out. Yeah.
Like, I think, oh man, when was it? So it was MTV Base Days, man. So
oh yeah,
so
good times, man. Lamar days,
circa 2000. Hey, listen, Lamar could sing, man. Like,
hey, Lamar. No one put any disrespect on Lamar, because Lamar had bangers. If There's Any Justice, banger. What's that other song?
There was 50-50.
50-50, banger.
It was a great tune.
What a banger.
And his other voice was amazing. There was one called
Don't Give It Up. That one. I just remembered that.
I can't say that I like that one. There was one that I thought he did called oh my gosh, what was it? Lullaby that he did. And he did it with a choir. Okay. Mate, like my parents bang that one Christmas, just relentlessly singing this song. So I will always love it because
Lamar's one of those guys who's like, I think he's well known in the UK, and he had like a lot of big songs. Like even songs that I realized I knew, I remember going back and I'm like, oh shit, Lamar did that song. I didn't even know that. And then me and my brothers would go down this rabbit hole watching like old school like music videos and stuff on YouTube, always in for Lamar. And you know, songs like If There's Any Justice, we really appreciate the musicality of it now. Whereas back then we just used to love the song, and now it's like, man, the video is really creative and cool. He looks cool, and the musicality of the song is really good. And then my brother like went on, branched out, and like listened to more of his stuff. That's why I recognized the Lullaby when you said that.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where he just never seemed to have had this long-term kind of following. Like he still puts out music, but they're like covers, or they're not. Yeah. They're not really. They don't get a lot of views or anything like that, which is a shame. He's one of those guys I root for.
He's like Leona Lewis. All the talent in the world, just fucking boring.
Yeah, yeah, he just hasn't got that extra thing about him.
They're boring. Right? That's what it is. Emily Sandé, amazing singer, I think.
Yeah,
Boring, boring songs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there has got to be something else. Like,
there's got to be another spark there.
I think
right?
who did I bring up last week? Yeah, that was it. Like Cisco from Drew Hill, for example.
Oh,
He had
right.
some, like, as corny and cheesy as it was, and so 2000s and late 90s as it was. Like, he
Yeah.
still stood out because he was just so weird and had something else, a je ne sais quoi about him. Same with like, I don't know, why did Jamiroquai get so huge? I do think in part because of the great music, but also because of the visuals as well.
And stuff. Yeah. 100%.
Honestly, I recommend you watch like live performances of JK and stuff. Like I wouldn't say that he's a good dancer, but he's captivating to watch.
Right.
You can't help but like want to join in when he does. So he's got that X factor. MJ, Prince, guys like that, like Stevie Wonder. Yeah. I mean, a je ne sais quoi. Yeah. You know,
je ne sais quoi. That's the. I was trying to bring up that word last time. That's the because you were trying to say that about someone else, and I was like, yeah, there's a fucking word or phrase for that, and I don't even know if I might have said it and then thought, nah, that's not what I'm talking about. But it is je ne sais quoi. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when you think about it too much, you're like, nah, that's not the right.
Yeah, when you reason yourself out of it.
Yeah, you're like, that doesn't make any sense.
No, man, trust you. That's one thing as well that I think lots of people have gotten good at doing is like not listening to the inner voice that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Without fail. Like genuinely, this little voice will say, I don't know, you should do that or you should say that. 100% I'll ignore it. And then that voice goes, oh, yeah. Idiot.
Yeah, literally. All the other voices come in and be like, but what if you do say that? What if you do that, though? Then this might happen and this might happen. And then the day goes on or whatever, the moment passes. And then you're like, I should have done that thing I felt like.
Yeah, exactly.
It's happened to me so often in my life.
Oh,
I'm
man.
just like, come on.
See, because we're not fully connected. That's why, man. It's all... Anyway.
We're not tuned in.
We're not tuned in. That's true. Anyway, right. Okay. So we are on
back to the album.
Track number 9. Right. Make It Rain. We're making it rain. Right. The atmosphere on this one is on point. It's different. It's way better. Now cool my ears sort of prick. Yeah, man. And it's featuring Rowdy Rebel. It sounds different.
Who the fuck is Rowdy Rebel?
No idea. But doesn't he? Isn't that it's a call from jail, isn't it?
I wrote the same thing when I listened back to this. Like he's got one of those sounds like he's phoning in. Not like they put an effect on his voice, because why would you put that effect on someone's? It doesn't sound like tailored, if that makes sense. It sounds like that's the audio. Yeah. Because you know when some people will say, "Oh, can you put that telephone effect on my voice?" What they mean is like take out the lows to like give it that kind of electronic or dialed in sound.
Definitely.
Yeah, but an actual telephone vocal sounds like this, and you don't want that. And every time I hear that on rap songs, I'm just like, okay, this guy's in jail.
Yeah, exactly. It's becoming weird. The thing
I always remember.
Well, yeah, go on.
Oh no, so I was going to say Usher. I remember on Confessions, he had Confessions Part 2 remix, which had like Twister, Kanye West, and then I think Shine. Okay. And I remember back in the day hearing that and being like, this guy Shine, why are his vocals like that? It's because he'd phoned in from jail. And I was like, people do that and put it on a song. I was like, but okay, this sounds so amateur. Like the whole rest of the song was great, but now it gets to this part and the quality is literally dipped because they even turned like the music down a little bit, if I remember right. And I was like, how is this enjoyable? Like, I feel bad for Shine, but did you really need him on the song at that moment in time?
Yeah, like, why is he in jail as well? Like,
yeah.
Do you want to be endorsing that shit?
There's that, but also I just don't get it as like, I don't know. I'm trying to think like, let's say a rapper I liked or I wanted to collab with. Let's say Jay-Z, for some reason, was in jail, right? We need to get him to call in and put a vote, like a verse on this song. I'll be like, let's just wait till he's out or not get him on the song. Like, I really don't understand the kind of the process or like the mentality of, no, I've got to get Shine or I've got to get this guy on this song. He's in jail right now, so we're gonna have to get a phone vocal. It's like, what?
There's only
Really?
one reason I can think of for doing it. Oh man, you're like my best mate. I want you on my album. I don't care where you are. Like that's the only way that I can see people, um, doing
My
that.
mates are in. If my mates are in jail and I'm putting together an album and they're MCs, I'm waiting until they get out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I know,
I
but
mean,
that's normality. Like these celebrities and that don't deal in normal, do they?
I guess not.
And especially in a posthumous album. I mean, like what?
Yeah, actually, it makes it weirder in a posthumous album, unless
Yeah,
like it was one of the Pop Smoke's kind of. He's one of his guys, or he really wanted him. I can understand actually for this. If Rowdy Rebel is someone who's like close to Pop Smoke, and then it's like, well, we're putting this album out, and it's got to be done now, right? Because he died earlier this year, or when did this come out? Last year, right?
last
2020.
year. Yeah.
Yeah. So he dies at the top of 2020. He's got all this material. Okay, we're putting this album out for the summer to commemorate him. You should be part of it, but you're in jail. Fine. Okay, cool. We'll just
Yeah.
get you.
Yeah. Definitely. That's a good point.
But in other scenarios, I don't really understand it. To be fair,
No,
I say that now. I'm hoping none of my friends go to jail, but still, I just feel like I'd be like, yeah, I'll wait for you to come back and we can work on something in person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
man.
yeah, like it doesn't sound good when there's a phone vocal.
No, it doesn't.
Like, yeah, it just kind of throws the vibe off.
Yeah, it does. But also, like, I found that like Pop Smoke's vocal on this one sounded weird. Like, he didn't sound there. It was a bit.
Right.
It was a bit.
Yeah.
Like, I can't explain. Like, it's what I found on like DMX's album. Like, it was like.
Yeah. Right.
It was.
Something was off.
Something was really off. Like, it didn't. You couldn't hear the full bass of the voice. Like, do you know what I mean? Like
the composition of this whole song felt very strange, like in terms of the vocal placements, how they were mixed in. Because the mixing and all that sort of stuff sounds fine throughout the album, but there's like a couple of spots here and there where I just think, okay, this sounds a bit weird. It sounds a bit off. And
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
Yeah, this was the one where I noticed his tone the most, because normally he's like Pop Smoke's vocals are in the bass basically, like it's down there in the depths, right? But it just felt like almost elevated, but there was no low end to his voice. It sounded like he was kind of he was there, but not like it was really weird. I can't.
I wonder. I've got two theories: either that they tried to match him to the other vocal by, kind of manipulating his vocal.
Sure.
Or his vocal was also done in a similar way where it's recorded quickly on his phone or something like that. And then they were like, okay, you know what? This would be a good one to get this guy because it's going to be a phone vocal too. And we'll just kind of, because was there really, I can't remember this song that much, but was there much structure to this song, like with a hook and stuff like that? Or was
I think it was just one thing all the way through. But dude, this is one of the things. I can only remember one song from this album.
Okay.
And
which was? Oh, okay. We're not there yet.
We're not there yet. I can only remember one. And that's, what does that tell you? I've got a really good memory for music that I like, right? Yeah. And I like this. I can remember one song, but that's by default. But anyway, we'll get there. Cool. So this is the point, the woo, where I sort of spat my tea out, like in anger for people that like Pop Smoke, right? Like I just sort of embodied all of that frustration. Okay, so it's featuring 50 Cent and Roddy Ricch.
Yeah,
I mean, this is like TLC's No Scrubs, like era of guitars, man. This is, you know what I mean, circa 98, 2000, that kind of 2-3 year period around then. Whereas this is like this is like it's 50 Cent, like just you know what I mean, just jerking himself off like all over this song. You can tell it's
When
just
you
got
gonna
this.
fly me in private so I can land on that dick? That's what, yeah.
Yeah,
And
do you
then
know
he
what I
rhymes
mean?
dick again with dick later.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, okay.
This is the thing, man. Like, I like 50, like as a dude as well. Like, I think he's all right. I think he's like quite an
Yeah,
interesting guy. However, like the musical, like music, leave it to somebody else, mate. Because
yeah,
his fingerprints are all over it. He's got that special 50 Cent sauce all over it, and like Pop Smoke is, there's the candy shop reference and all of that stuff. I'm like,
yeah,
oh, you
yeah,
guys are just standing around, like, you know what I mean? Just
yeah. I feel that. I
loving each
feel
other and stuff. But
that.
I found that in this, like, I was like, 50, this isn't your album. Fuck off.
Right.
Roddy Rich, this isn't your album. Fuck off. Why are you giving the smallest piece of the pie to Pop Smoke? This is his
Is
album.
this the one?
This is the one. I would be so angry with that. You like 50 Cent, like you're not exactly, you're not J. Cole out here, okay? You're not
Yeah,
Royce. You're not
yeah,
dynamic enough. You ain't
yeah.
got enough in your
You're not a top tier
repertoire.
lyricist.
You're
Nah.
not. You ain't Black Thought.
Oof. Not at all.
You ain't. Do you know what I mean? It's just like you shouldn't. You definitely come in and feature.
Yeah,
Write your 16 and then sod off. But like
yeah.
for the producers to be like, oh yeah, now we'll give Pop Smoke like a tiny bit of the song. It's absolutely fuming. I think that's so disrespectful. Like, I just thought, oh, if this is a shameless cash grab to
Yeah.
me. This is just like, oh yeah, let's get the feature in, and then crap all over the guy that whose posthumous album it is. I
Do you want
think
to add
is
more like salt to that wound?
go on.
This was a big, big song off this album. As in, I think this was another big TikTok famous song and just a big song in general. Because that, she wanna fuck with the woo. That was everywhere when it came out. This, For the Night, Mood Swings, and whatever the other one was. Can't remember. But yeah, like, yeah. Oh, yeah, Mood Swings. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, this was a big song.
Tells you everything that's wrong with like
Industry
with the industry, with people. Like I think
and people. Yeah,
I think it's disgusting.
yeah.
And for it to
I
get as
mean,
big as it was.
for 50 Cent as well. Like I know it's in his it's in his name, and he has a classic album called Get Rich or Die Trying, but he forever does chase the money. I always wonder if you could ever trust him as a person, because sometimes he'll be like a part of a project, and then I can never tell. I used to be the biggest 50 Cent fan ever. But I remember after some point thinking, I don't know, he'd be part of this project, and then you think, does he really vibe with these people? And then he'll be part of another project. So like, he's part of the games project, but then he like fired the game. He kicked the game out of G Unit before even telling the game. He just did it live on air, and the album hadn't even come out yet. Then he was part of that posthumous MJ album, the first one, Michael. He was on that Monster song. And he's in the documentary talking about how it's like this big, such a big deal for him to be part of it, blah, blah. But before that, the story about his DJ meeting MJ and trying to get him to connect, it doesn't vibe with how he's talking on that documentary about MJ. He seemed to not care as much. And I remember when MJ died, he said like one of the first things that he said was like, "What, Mike? You mean the guy that sold this many million records or whatever?" And it's like, wait, okay, so that's how you personify him, not Mike, the human being, right? The entertainer, the musician, the guy. All you see is, wow, the guy that sold this many records has died. And I mean, he even talks about Eminem like that sometimes. Eminem he's way closer to, but he'll say like, oh, back when the Marshall Mathers LP came out, I was like, wow, this guy's moving units. I used to look at that and think, wow, this guy's talking about this and this and that, but he's moving. It's always about money, right? There's always this kind of focus. I know he's a businessman. I know he's that way oriented, but sometimes it makes you question. So when he's a part of this kind of album, it makes you wonder, are you really about it? Do you know what I mean? Like, are you really with this? I don't know what him and Pop Smoke, if they had that much connection even beforehand, or if he just took it on. You know, I don't know, man. Like, because this sounds like a 50 Cent album, right? This sounds like a 50 Cent album.
Yeah.
The reason I didn't give you either of the two mixtapes by Pop Smoke before was because I thought, okay, it'd be a cool introduction to Pop Smoke, but it's something I might give you off air if you were like, oh, I haven't heard of Pop Smoke. I've heard of Pop Smoke. I haven't heard his music. I'd probably give you one of those mixtapes.
Sure.
Right? That's a way more focused. He was part of that, and it's just hard throughout. It's just you get the full feeling of it. Whereas this, there's more range, but also I thought it'd be more interesting for us to talk about, right? Because yes, this does feel like put Pop Smoke through the 50 Cent filter.
Ugh.
50 Cent's about he's as much of a great artist he was. Get Rich or Die Trying was an album that was full of singles. So you could put any of those songs out as a single and it would have gone big.
Yeah.
He crafted that through the mixtape game. He figured out what people responded to and what they didn't. And he ended up making a near perfect album as a result, where every song, banger after banger after banger, he's doing the same kind of thing with Pop Smoke. He just doesn't have that same, that same execution anymore.
Yeah, he hasn't got the finger on the pulse, because there are so many. For me, there are so many misses on this album.
I agree, 100%.
So many misses
in that middle section, especially for me personally, from Snitching to Enjoy Yourself. I think that part pulls the whole. It's like a little crater in the journey of the album.
Yep.
For me personally.
Oh well, basically that's a nice little like segue into track 11, West Coast shit, featuring Tiger and Quavo. I've just put, it's a hard pass from me. I don't really like the 80s, you know, there's that weird, like there's the 80s like keys sound, the quintessential 80s sound. Basically, I sat there, and when I was listening to it, I was like, fuck you, skip. Like, yeah. No, I was so,
I
was just like, I think this, I just put, it's easy music, and I think it's a rubbish tune. TBH. Couldn't even be bothered to write, to be honest. You don't deserve it. Hard pass.
You don't.
Shit song. Absolute shit song. Enjoy Yourself, featuring Karol G. I just liked it, actually. I thought it was all right.
Okay. Yeah, I wrote it's all right.
Basic guitar riff, and it's early 2000s. It's okay. It's serviceable. Yeah. Like you could put that out. You could have put that out 20 years ago, and it would have been a top 30 hit. You'd have done all right with it. Track 13, Mood Swings. I think that it started off really promising. The music is basic, but I think it's a decently well constructed song. I think it's perfectly acceptable. Like, it's fine. Yeah.
But this was another big song.
Yeah,
the TikTok famous song.
Oh, fair enough. Like, have you noticed that I haven't really brought up the lyrics or anything like that? Like,
it's not really much to bring up.
Doesn't grab me in the slightest. It's just music that really.
Yeah. For me, it's like get him on a good beat with his flow.
Yeah.
The thing is, when you listen back to the two mixtapes, they're about 10, 12 songs, and it's very focused.
Sure.
And it's very, you're not going in for lyrical miracle stuff. You're just going in to hear him over these hard beats, which in themselves have some form of variation, but they're not too all over the place. It didn't need to stretch his out for like 19 tracks here. And then a deluxe, which took it to a 34. I remember when I saw that the deluxe came out, I was like, bruv, there's already like 18 or 19 songs on here.
It's a cash grab. That is shameless.
Yeah. And yeah, bruv, you do not want to listen to the deluxe. Like, it's just background noise at that point.
I'm not gonna.
No, you shouldn't. I mean, I think I did, because I came back to this album. I didn't really vibe with it when I first listened to it. I took songs like 44 Bulldog and Creature, and that was it. And then I came back to this album earlier this year, and I was like, oh, okay, picking out more songs from this. Quite like this. I love the first two mixtapes of his. And then I was like, okay, cool. I'm actually a bit of this. It's just kind of fun. It's cool to put on. I'm in the mood for it. obviously a lot of dead shit on here, a lot of dead weight, and then I was like, okay, so I wonder, it might probably be something to pull from the deluxe. I got maybe one song, and even then it was like, it gets the little heart on Spotify. That's it. It doesn't go into a playlist. It doesn't come back up anywhere. It's just, if I have to give one song a like, you know, a Facebook like, it'll be that one song. And that's it. I was like, how? Like, I would hate for someone to do that to me, to completely raid my hard drive or my files. I don't know how they went about putting this together. I don't really know how they put a lot of these posthumous albums together. But man, I would hate for someone to go through my hard drive and take some just ideas I have and stuff that I kind of put down, like committed to whatever you call it, committed to tape, and then try to stretch it out for like 30, 34 songs, which is something I wouldn't even do, you know? So it's like, and they all sound so, and then pad them out with features and stuff. I'd be like, nah, man, please do not do that. This is me saying it now on record, so someone can find it in the future. Do not do this. Do not do this to me, please.
I don't,
David, if you're still around, don't let them do it.
Listen, I got 10 years on you, mate. I should be in the ground before you. Like, I don't want to be around fighting that battle.
Oh, man.
I need to stay alive for at least the next 18 years and 2 months. After that, I can check. Like, if I check out, it will be all right.
Calm.
I'll be batting a good innings at that point.
Okay. Well, so let's hope you're still here for the bonus rounds. So. Yeah. We'd all hope.
Yeah, man, exactly. Every year after that is absolute bonus. I should hopefully be long retired by then anyway. But yeah, working. Ugh. Anyway,
nah.
Where
you're allergic, remember?
For real, bro.
Something special.
Much better. I think it's different. It's overt summer vibes. It's like overt. It's in your face. There's a little bit of dynamism in there for you. Again, it reminds me of a UK track, and I cannot think. Yeah, it's like it reminds me of oh my god, who is it? Is it Sway? One of Sway's tunes. Like
remember that guy. Yeah,
Little Terry or something like that. There's a song like that. It might not be Little Terry. Little Tiny?
Man, Sway, what a blast from the past, man.
Yeah, man.
You do like all the quick spitting stuff, right?
He was decent back in the day, man. There's one song that he did called Levels or something like that. Like I've only heard it. No, but it's like like Leveling Up or something like that. And it's like this weird mix of it, and it is just I've only heard it once, and this is like about 10 years ago. And I've not been able to find it anywhere since, and it's driving me mad. And it's got this it's just this awesome like feel to it. It's so different to anything that he's done, and I can't find it anywhere, and I'm driving myself mad. But anyway, this song reminds me of like something that Sway would do anyway, I think. And this is probably, so I'm at song 14 and I'm like, is this the highlight? I've had to wait 14 songs for that. Like, holy shit, man. That's album.
Not good.
So this is the song that I remember.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it would be this one.
Genuine Differences. The song is incredible.
Yeah.
The original.
Right in the feels.
Mate, I love it. And I was always wondering, like, I've never heard anybody cover it or sample it or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is kind of how you do it. Obviously, you put the tone up, and you know you make it all squeaky and stuff. You know, like oh my god, I'm blanking. Kanye West, you know, Through the Wire and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know, like that kind of
soul
thing.
It. Yeah,
you chipmunk soul it. That's the thing. So I got no choice but to love it because I love the original. It's like Touch the Sky, but again, Kanye.
What's the original?
Differences by Genuine.
Okay.
I recommend you listen to that song.
I'll listen to it after this.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's just awesome. I think it's a great song.
This is another big song. Like
it's the sample that
swings,
makes it.
The Woo and For the Night. Those songs I think were like the big songs that's last summer. Always hear them on TikTok. Always hear them everywhere. Yeah. What You Know About Love, definitely one of my favorites on here as well.
It's corny as fuck though.
It is, but
it's corny as fuck, but it works. And
It works. Yeah.
but that's like because I can hear, like I know the original track so well.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's just I can hear it in my head right now at
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
tempo as well. And I'm like, yep, cool, okay. But anyway,
Sure. Sure.
yeah, man, banger. Track number 16, Diana. Um, I don't know if this is going to come through the headphones. I'm going to see if I can play it. It's on YouTube. It reminds me of this weird video called "Nobody Can Across It," and I really like it. Um,
Okay.
I mean, I like this song. It's more expansive. There's weird, like little violin sample as well, in it,
Right.
which is really cool. Really, really nice. It comes in, and then there's obviously like the twinkly. I don't know what makes that twinkle, like a xylophone, I think.
Yeah. Oh,
Twinkles
right.
and
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
and it's
Got you.
really
Yeah.
nice. Like I like that kind of like dreamy kind of soundscape.
Sure.
Um, let's see if I can. Can you hear this?
No.
Oh, damn it!
You'd have to share your screen and your audio.
Oh, for
I think,
fuck's
or not even your
sake!
screen, but probably your audio,
Hold on.
which I think you can do.
Do you know what? It's such a stupid. Oh, and this is an old man trying to share stuff. No, I can only show it. I don't know about audio. Ah, sod it. Anyway, I'll link to it in the description.
Okay.
In the YouTube, right? Like, cause it just reminds me of that song anyway, and I actually happen to like that song. It's so
Ah.
stupid. It's did you ever hear that song? Oh, he's climbing through your windows, trying to snatch your people up, trying to rape them. So y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife. Did you ever hear
Oh,
that?
yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's done
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
that kind of like vein.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
news article and some guys just saying like, some rivers flooded in some country. Like might be somewhere in the Caribbean, might be Africa, I don't know. But it's just like
Okay.
nobody can cross it. The bus can't swim, nobody can cross it. So it's like, yeah, it's
Right.
it's
Okay.
all right. But on that quick aside, anyway, track number 17, Got It On Me. Meh.
Oh,
50
okay.
Cent. I
Yeah, the
mean,
many men interpolation. Well, you can
dude,
tell Pop Smoke's got the 50 Cent influence, right?
definitely. And a much better voice from
Yeah.
that. Like he's actually better at doing Many Men than 50 Cent is.
Which
Like,
is crazy, right? Yeah, I thought that song was quite good actually. To be
yeah,
fair,
it's
but
it's all right. I don't have a lot to say about it. I'm like, nah, it's all
fair,
right.
yeah, fair enough.
Um,
After that long string of whatever the fuck came before it, I was like, okay, we're back to some actual Pop
but
Smoke type shit.
sure.
That's what it felt like for me, and Tunnel Vision as well. To be fair,
Yeah, it's okay. Just sounds so UK. Just sounds so
what
UK. The
what Tunnel
music,
Vision?
Tunnel Vision. Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
can.
was
I
like,
was going to say you can hear the UK when he's like step in the game, start changing it like that part. I don't know if that's him or not, or if that's a sample from somewhere else. But yeah, I feel it. I feel it. The UK influence.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, and Dior. So
Oh, that's from the Meet the Woo mixtape. So
yeah,
that's an original.
I was like, I quite
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
that's not a posthumous one. That's an actual tune of his, which was big. You know?
Isn't that weird? And I wouldn't have
Yeah.
known, right? I just know that
Mm,
this is a posthumous album. So I really liked it. That's all I wrote.
cool.
Um, dude, don't even ask me to pick a top five from this album because I can't.
Really? Okay.
I can't.
To be fair, yeah, you can only remember one of them.
Yeah, and even that's like corny as hell. Like, I mean, like literally,
I'm anticipating a 2 or 3
bro.
out of 10.
Yeah, like you know how I was like at the top of this episode, I was like, oh, like didn't really move the dial for me, like either
Sure.
way,
Yeah.
like it feels quite inconsequential and stuff. I still feel like that, but
Yeah.
talking about like the sort of cash grabbing nature of it and discussing like 50s just 50s special sauce everywhere, like this.
Yeah. Which wasn't needed. all the time.
Well, yeah, exactly. And the sheer fact that, this is an album made in, 2020, and yet we've got these bizarre callbacks to, like, shoehorned in callbacks like to the 80s. I'm like, what is that doing in that
Yeah,
song?
and like the early 2000s
And
or like
early
mid 2000s
2000s.
hip hop stuff.
Yeah,
Like
we've
weird, right?
done that. Like,
Yeah.
he's got this like decent sound, in the first, 5, 6 songs of the album. You can really hear like the drill
Mm.
influence, and you're like, right, okay. Like that to
Yeah.
me is where that's his home. And this
Sure.
is
Yeah.
me as somebody who's new to Pop Smoke, right? I don't,
Yeah.
I mean, I just 50 Cent, like, and also to give him, what was the song?
The Woo.
The Woo. I mean, it disgusts me, like, genuinely. And I'm
Yeah.
not even, as I said, man, I'm not even a fan. And like, it's just horrible. Anyway, so with all of that in mind, like, yeah, this album, I mean, I gave Drake's Views a 3.5. This gets a 3. Like, I
Okay.
was going to give it a 5, but it's
Oh
not even Pop Smoke's
no, I
album.
don't. It doesn't. To be honest, one, I don't think it's disrespectful if anyone's thinking that, because that ends up happening with like dead artists and whatever. If the album's trash, it's trash in your opinion.
I think
Um,
so, yeah.
yeah, and 5 doesn't feel right for how you've described it so far. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah,
It gets a 3, man. Like, yeah,
yeah,
it's just,
yeah,
it's just a shame, because this is my intro into Pop Smoke, and it's
yeah.
not even it's kind of unfair, because it's not even a real
It's not a real.
representation
Yeah,
of
yeah,
of him as an artist. It's just
yeah,
somebody's kind of facsimile copy of
yeah,
what
yeah.
they think he would do. And sometimes it works. Like, definitely, I'd say in the first like 5 or 6 tracks, even though I didn't really care about it, but the first five or
Mm.
six tracks, I was like, right, I can understand the theme.
Yeah,
And then it
it
just
started off
loses
strong
its
like
way.
that. It
Mm.
Yeah, it fully does. Like if I could just skip out a lot of that middle part, um, maybe I'd probably. The thing is, if the Woo was like 50 Cent song featuring Pop Smoke and Roddy Ricch, then I'd be like, okay, cool. The
Yeah,
fact that it's a Pop
yeah.
Smoke song featuring them too, but he's like not on it as much or whatever.
Well, 50's front
Yeah,
and center, like, unashamedly
yeah. See,
front and center.
it's one of those albums that which I do like. Like Eminem's Music to Be Murdered By. It's like there is a good album in there, tucked in there somewhere, surrounded
Definitely.
by a lot of fat. It's the same here. So this album is saved on my library because when I do go back to it, I will play it from the top and then just skip through songs I don't like, and I
Sure.
just pretend that they don't exist. Because for me, as someone like you said earlier in the episode, for someone who does like this kind of music or who does like Pop Smoke, then some of these songs probably hit harder for them. Part of me wishes I'd said to you, like with the Denzel Curry one, said to you like, oh, just listen to one of the mixtapes first, just one time through or something, so you get an idea of Pop Smoke as he was when he was here.
Yeah.
Then listen to
Yeah.
the album, and that can be your context going in. Because when I pick albums for you to listen to, I don't necessarily go on what will David like or even what will he dislike. It's what do I think would be an interesting album to discuss. Do you know what I mean?
Man,
So
for real.
if I had picked Meet the Woo Volume 2, which I really like, I don't think it would have been as interesting to talk about as this one. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, man.
But then I probably should have prefaced last time and said, oh, listen to that project first and then listen to this, so that because I want Pop Smoke to be seen in a good light, to be fair,
definitely.
yeah. And not just because he's passed away, but even before that, I was a fan. So it was very random and sudden when he died. I had a friend around, or my partner's friend was around, and I remember she was downstairs. She actually called me even though I was in the same house and I was just upstairs, and just randomly went, KD, Pop Smoke's just died. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Pop Smoke? Why? What a random, like, he's still so fresh. You know what I mean? Like, I only just heard about him last year. Like, yeah, it's one of those kind of things, But it's a shame. I mean, I'm glad if you would listen to the deluxe as well, that would have been fucking.
I'd have thrown my phone out the window. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I think you would have probably quit the podcast.
No, I wouldn't have done that. I'd have just said like after song 20,
Yeah,
just like, now fuck this, I'm not doing it anymore.
yeah.
Like,
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I don't see
ain't
what the
doing it.
point is.
Yeah, man.
I really didn't see what the point is.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
you know, you've really made me rethink posthumous albums now. Um,
okay. What in what way?
especially, well, like with Michael Jackson's one that came out in what 2012 or whatever it is, the one where he's like in that weird.
Oh, that was like 2014 or something, I think.
Oh, there you go, 2014,
Yeah,
whatever it was.
with the yellow cover.
The yellow cover, and
He's got the
weird
weird thing.
space
Yeah,
thing on him. Yeah.
yeah,
Um, I really didn't mind it because to
yeah,
me it sounded like respectful,
yeah,
like largely respectful. Like these are the guys that produced some of his stuff earlier, so it was like
yeah,
they would have known what he might have wanted,
for
right?
sure. And they included like a second disc, which was all the original versions of the song as well.
Mate. And some of those were like
Worked great. Yeah.
the was it Take Me to a Place without no name,
Oh
that the
yeah, Place with
original
No
to that.
Name.
What, like, because I love the that's not a um oh my goodness, that
That's the
is
cover,
not.
right?
There you go. Yeah, I've forgotten out a word. I just couldn't think of the word. Yeah, it's a cover, the instrumental, the
Mm,
guitar, and I really like that instrumental, and I like the way that
sure. Yeah.
Michael Jackson sings over it. So I found it really like respectful.
Yeah.
But however, I don't know if we're moving into like just cash grab territory with a lot of the posthumous albums, and also with like
Yeah.
when I look back at like Tupac's, Tupac was releasing like loads of stuff after he died, and now I'm like, oh, maybe I need to go back and listen to his early stuff when he was alive and listen to the
Yeah.
posthumous stuff and see what's going on there,
Sure. Yeah.
because a lot of the songs that were released posthumously were amazing, but I
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
Letter to My Unborn Child, Changes, like
Amazing song.
Broken
Yeah.
Wings, like, and Thug's Mansion,
Yeah. Yeah. Thugs Mansion. Yeah.
and like the acoustic guitar version as well. It's
Mm-hmm.
one of the most amazing songs ever, like I think. But maybe I need to go back and listen, because there was quite a lot of capital, as well as capital was in money, and also
Yeah.
cultural capital attached to
Oh yeah.
Tupac. Right, he was just a money making machine. He was everywhere,
Mm,
um, and it was sort of, while it was nice for me getting into hip hop to get to listen to Tupac a lot, right? He
yeah.
was in the zeitgeist, but like, who's making the money? Like, was Afina Shakur making the money? Like, where the,
Sure. Yeah.
where was it going? And
Mm,
so I think that when we talk about posthumous albums, like, what's the intent, I guess, behind them? This
yeah.
posthumous album
Like.
is a cash grab.
Mm,
DMX is one.
yeah.
As I've said, and I'll say it again,
Yeah.
fight me, bro. It's disgusting. It is disgusting.
Yeah.
And it feels like, with what 50 Cent's done, is he's just jumped on the fact that, you're more famous dead than you are alive, and he just jumped on
Mm,
that track. The woo, like,
yeah. Yeah.
anyway.
I don't know. I don't know a lot of the making of this album. Like, I don't know how many of the collaborations were put together beforehand and things like that. Because I know that when Mac Miller, when his Circles album came out, that was basically all done, and then the guy he was working on it with just finished it up and put it together. Do you know what I mean? And that was him going into like the final phase of like the next phase of his career. Unfortunately, but he died, so we couldn't see what came of it, because it's very different to his other albums. But the guy he worked on it with is the one who finished it up, not like a label, not a group of people, just the guy he was working with.
Sure.
So it's the equivalent if I was to work on an album with one of my friends and then I was unable to finish it. I would put my trust in them, but they had all the pieces. I'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, you go ahead. I trust you to do it. It wouldn't be like group sourced. It wouldn't be like, oh, a bunch of people come in like, we need this kind of song. Maybe we can throw this artist on there because then that will make it for a big single. And, let's remix his voice here because that's what's new and current. I'd be like, oh, fuck that. Whereas if it was my mate finishing it off, cool. right? I think that's what happened with Miller. I don't know what happened with Juice WRLD's one, even though that was well received. Yeah, this Pop Smoke one, I can never trust 50's intentions really. The Tupac ones, like they just kept dishing them out, man. And yeah, there was some like really good songs that came out of those, but then I don't know which ones of those were like basically there, but just weren't released. Do you know what I mean? And then that's maybe why they're the standouts. Like, what's that song? Do for Love. I mean, what an amazing song.
But the instrumental as well is it's
so good. But it sounds like something Tupac would have jumped on, right? And Letter to My Unborn. That one with that sample. Fuck. Not Letter to My Unborn. Until like the End of Time or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one. And then there's the album Loyal to the Game, which Eminem produced. And he wrote like a whole letter to Tupac's mum saying how much of an impact he made on his life and whatever else. And then I think she offered him and said, do you want to do the next posthumous album? And he was given like a bunch of different vocals and he produced a lot of the music over it. Now that sounds much more like, if it's going to be anyone, it's going to be Eminem. Whether it came out good or not, it still felt like it was well-intentioned. Yeah. Because he did some quite unique things on that, apparently. Like he actually cut up some of the vocals and actually got Tupac to say things like G Unit and you know, Shady and things like that. He didn't know who these people were because he died before their time.
Of course.
So he actually, it was weird hearing that album. You can hear him be like laugh and then say Slim, Shady or something like that, or G Unit, Banks, Buck, 50, you know, like because they're featured on one of the songs. And it's like, it's quite interesting how he did that. But whether it's ethically right or not, I don't know. But, you know, I don't know. But yeah, you're right. Posthumous albums kind of don't vibe with me in general, to be fair. Unless I know that the artist made it. Like, what's that album? Biggie's album? Life After Death.
There you go.
That was done. And then Biggie happened to die before release.
Exactly.
Yeah. He still made it all. He oversaw it right to the end when it got submitted. He just happened to die like a week before the Machiavelli one as well. So Tupac's 7-Day Theory or whatever it's called, the Illuminati one. He made that. He just happened to die before it was released.
Yeah, they do talk about Tupac being a like just a workaholic. Like apparently he was just relentless output, just bars. So
he would just jump in the booth, rap something, and then say, "All right, next beat." And he'd bang out like 5 or 10 songs. And then he would be like, all right. Yeah. He'd just be like, all right, you guys mix it and we'll pick the best ones. Or we'll pick the best ones and then you guys do your mixing and shit and then we're good to go. And it's like, that's like the other end of the spectrum, isn't it? When you have people like MJ who are there and Eminem, people like that who are there from like the beginning of the process right to the end.
Yeah.
Very meticulous. And, you know, make sure they put together something properly.
Yeah.
Then you have some artists who just go in, bang shit out. They don't really care about it, and it shows when it comes out. It's you know, there's a bit weak, or there'll be 1 or 2 songs on the album that are good, the rest aren't. Then you have the other end of the spectrum where you have someone like Tupac who just bangs it out, such good quality, and Griselda too. They bang it out, such good quality. They don't sit there through the mastering process, the mixing and mastering and adding production and stuff like that.
Don't.
They do their bit. They leave. They let everyone do the rest for them. And it turns out so good. And you're like, on paper, you guys should be like the lower level artists that we kind of, you know, put down for being like, you lot don't care about your music. You lot don't care about your craft. Yeah. Someone like Tupac and Griselda are doing the same thing. Except the difference is that they just happen to put out quality every time.
But they trust in their team, though. That's the thing.
And they trust in
I spit lyrics, you make the beats. That's the kind of thing. Whereas, you get guys like, you know, Royce now wants to, you know, and he said it in like interviews that he's looking to just go and produce beats now. He wants to do that. He's really interested in that. And I'm like, cool. That's a natural kind of progression, right?
Progression, 100%. Yeah.
Well,
because he produced his whole last album. So
I know. So I finally got round to listening to it. Jeez.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's just it's again like
Beautiful, right?
oh. Thanks for sharing your story. I would love to meet. I'd love to sit down and just have like an
Talk.
orange juice with that guy.
Yeah.
You'd have to have some kind of drink, but like,
Yeah.
you
But
know
he
what I
wouldn't
mean?
be having any alcoholic drinks because
No,
he's
exactly.
sober.
That's why I said orange juice. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, he's
Hmm.
yeah, absolutely amazing. What a guy. But yeah, that seems like such a nice
What a guy.
natural fit, doesn't it? Like he's going into producing beats, and
100%.
you
Yeah.
get some artists that are like, no, I need to. Yeah, and as you said, I need to be in every. I need to be in the bones of everything.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
then you do get these guys that are just like, I spit, you make beats, let's team up. DMX, I think, was one of those guys. You make the beat,
Yeah.
I'm the artist, let's
Yeah.
go.
And then you mix and master afterwards, and then I'll listen to it just to make sure.
That's it. And it's
Yeah. All good.
inherent trust in your team. DMX had Swiss Beats. Swiss Beats was like,
100%.
hey man, I got your back. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just that's how music is such a communal thing, and it's better
100%.
when shared.
100%.
Um,
100%.
and like, I think that posthumous albums, though, like it would be a great way to commemorate a person's, being and stuff. Like I do really think
Yeah.
that if done right, I mean, the reason why I think this album has not gelled with me so much is because I can actually recognize intent and when it feels right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I can pick up on that. So,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, man.
I
I
feel
think
you on that. I feel you.
yeah, I used to be more forgiving about posthumous albums, but now I'm going to be so cautious about it because I've been
Yeah.
burned.
No, I feel that, man. I feel that. Yeah.
Yeah. Shit.
Shit. Yeah. There's a good point also quickly about the whole some artists being down in the nitty gritty of their music. I think that's one reason that J. Cole has improved so much as a rapper because he's not doing his own beats anymore. And I think that's also one reason that like Big Crit also started to evolve more was that he actually let him and J. Cole were quite similar, that they would produce their own beats and rap and sing over their own stuff.
Yeah.
Well, in Big Crit's case, he would sing over his own stuff too, like his own hooks and everything. And that was great when he was dropping mixtapes and they were like, he was building his brand.
Yeah, makes
Couldn't
sense.
get enough of it. But then moving forward after a while, like into the mainstream, I guess, like that album I gave you to listen to, I think he allowed a lot of other producers to jump in and kind of he could take a little step back. I think that's why some of J. Cole's recent stuff has been stepped out of his comfort zone and let the producer kind of make the space comfortable for him, if that makes sense. Because I can imagine if you make the beats, you already kind of know what you're going to do. You know what the pocket you're going to fill.
Yeah.
You know the ins and outs of the beat and all that sort of stuff, as opposed to when someone else creates it with you in mind. It's like, it's like when your friends know you better than yourself.
Yeah.
So they see you from the outside and they might get you a present that you never knew you wanted. And then they give it to you and you're like, shit, man, that's sick. I never would have thought of getting that for myself. It's kind of similar to that. When you have a producer who knows you and they create something for you, it can like take you up to the next level because you might have never made that for yourself. You wouldn't have even known or thought to make that for yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's quite important actually. So
it's a team sport. Like it really does feel like it. And when you when you do get a dream team, you can hear it. You can hear that it's got that, because good music elevates you regardless of whatever form it is, death metal or flipping Mongolian throat music, doesn't matter.
Mongolian throat music. That's from a story I mentioned. That's from the story I told you. Right? Oh. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh goodness. Sorry, bro. Like I just I was just like reliving it when I was listening to it. Yo,
Oh
yo.
mate. Is that because I did you mention that because I told you about my mate who listens to it?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
when we used to work together, you mentioned it. So that
Oh
night I
yeah.
went and checked it out, and I was like, "Yeah, it ain't for me." It's
Yeah, no.
it's
He
so...
showed me something. He sent me a video, like a YouTube link, and I was like, "What? Why do you like this? Where did
it's
you ever hear this? Like, do you just bang this out every now and then? Like, go on YouTube and just be like Mongolian throat singing? The
Could you
fuck?
imagine that? Just like you go around like for a barbecue, and you're like, "What summer bangers you got on?" Oh man, I got some
Oh,
sick
got
Mongolian
some new shit.
throat
I got some new Mongolian shit, man.
Oh shit!
Oh man, so weird. But yeah,
I
shout.
think people should listen to it. Definitely, it's brilliant.
Yeah, that
If
would
you
add
want to laugh.
context to why we're laughing so much as well. Because, bruv, when I first heard it, I was like,
I made it like 2 minutes in, and I was like, I might
yeah,
need to turn this off.
yeah, yeah. It's not bad. It's just there's only so much I can take. You know,
It's just,
as a newbie to the genre.
oh boy,
Is it even a genre?
it's certainly something. It's
Yeah, yeah,
an experience.
yeah. Cool.
Yeah, man, for reals. Oh, I needed.
Anyways,
Anyways, right, bro. I'm going to give you an album. So last
mm,
week when we were talking about Jamiroquai,
yeah,
you said that you liked the jungly, like last track. Do you know where you're coming from?
yeah,
And you kind of like that drum, like jungly drum and bass aesthetic.
yeah,
I'm going to give you an album that incorporates that,
yeah.
and also a little bit of what I was talking about with like Buju Banton and a bit of raga and reggae and that kind
Okay,
of like stuff.
sick.
But it's
Sure.
also going to incorporate a bit of rock as well. So it is,
Okay.
trust me, it's one of my favorite albums ever.
Okay.
It's Babylon by the band
Babylon.
Skin Dread. Um, they are, I believe they're Welsh. And
Okay.
I first heard of him. So they released this in 2004, and I first heard of him when I was at uni in 2002. Um,
Okay.
and they were doing like more, just like sort of like more sort of new metal-y kind of music. Um,
Right.
well, actually, no, there was one song that was like new metal-y, but then the rest was very much like it's kind of like rock, but infused with like reggae, and you'll be able
Right.
to pick that up. But then it's also got like drum and bass bits like thrown in and stuff.
Sure. Okay.
See what you think. And
Okay. Cool.
yeah, it's
I've
totally
added
different. And also like my mate Chris, friend of the
Yeah.
show, was just like, "Oh mate, you gotta give him Babylon. You gotta give him." And I'm like, "It's on my list."
Okay. I'm
And
gonna
I've
check it
wanted to
out.
talk to you about Skin Dread for a long time. I haven't listened to this album in over 10 years, I don't think. So it'll be
Okay.
good to go back and listen.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear how it sounds. I'm gonna give it. I'll give it a listen.
It's the thing is as well, like what I will tell you is that like like with some bands, the real aim, or maybe not the real aim, but I think like the golden sort of standard is to be like truly alternative. So there are
Right.
bands like a Perfect Circle, or well, you got Tool or a Perfect Circle because they've got the same
Mm.
singer, right? But you've
Okay.
got like the Mars Volta, their first album. You've got System
Mm.
of a Down, Rage Against the Machine. Um,
Sure.
they're truly, truly alternative. And Skindred, there's
Right.
no one else on this planet like them.
Sure.
Nobody else sounds like them. So I think that's
Okay.
the sort of gold standard. I hope you find enjoyment in it.
I wonder, but all the mix match that you just said of sounds that they have.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Okay. And they've got like what 18 songs on this album, something like that. Is
No, is it?
that right? Or did I? make that up. 17, yeah.
I
17
really don't
songs.
remember that being that long, man.
Yeah, with an acoustic version of a song at the end.
Pressure.
Bonus track. Yeah.
Listen to that if you want. It's
Okay.
really nice though.
Okay. So yeah, 18 tracks. That's cool, man. I mean, I gave you this shit, 18 tracks. So
yeah, man, 19 tracks, 19.
calm.
Yeah,
All
man.
right. All right, your time to shine, David.
I know, man. I know. This is the only
You
time
got
that I'm not bitching and moaning about stuff. So you know what I mean.
okay, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Katie, it was good. Like posthumous albums, though, like literally, I'm gonna think twice now. So I think it's cool. This is another bonus of doing this podcast. Like I'm
Cool.
more aware of the material that I consume. So thank you, bro. And I will be checking out Pop Smoke a little bit.
No worries.
Right.
Yeah.
To all of our old listeners, thank you so much. Blessings to all of you guys for keeping up with our madness. If you are new and you've enjoyed this episode, like please, by all means, give us a shout on Twitter. We're about on Instagram. You know what I mean?
We're out
about,
here.
man. We're going to be doing, all kinds of music, man. Drum, bass, hip hop, rock, whatever. Whatever floats our boat. You know, it's going to be great. Yeah, I think that's it, really. So I'm going to say peace.
Peace.
Oh, we balls that one up.